If you do not have a beneficiary on there, things get divided up according to whatever the state happens to be saying for you. But most importantly is for if you have utilized a beneficiary designation in the past, haven't checked it, and there have been some life changes in the meantime, deaths, births, divorces, any of those things could wreak havoc upon you and your heirs, especially that one about a divorce, because I don't think there'd probably be anything that would have the potential to work out worse than having your assets designated to go to an ex-spouse, unless that's what you wanted. So be careful. Make sure you take a look at those things, review them periodically, and if you find some that don't have anything named as beneficiaries, that also could create a problem. So think about that.
Get those ducks in a row, right, Steve?
You bet. You line them up, get them all just perfect line behind you.
And you got the pencil to keep that line straight, right?
A pencil and a ruler, yes, sir.
There you go. How do we get a hold of you, Steve?
You call us right here at Baird & Company in Saginaw, where the telephone number is 989-790-5724. Our Midland location is 989-839-9035. And you can find us on the web at rwbaird, BAIRD.com. And then each branch and each rep have their own little web space.
Well, get out and enjoy the day, Steve.
Well, you know what? That sounds like a grand thing. I was trying to figure out how to get my desk out there.
Save that for another day, all right?
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, Steve Anderson over at Baird & Company. As far as what's going on in New York, we'll find out a little bit more about what's going on in Chicago in just a little bit when we slide over to Star of the West and talk to Cody Harris. And, of course, Doug Klein from Oppenheimer will be joining us in just a moment. Right now, we have a high-pressure system over Lake Erie, and that's the reason why we're seeing the weather we're seeing, because we do have a little bit of a breeze out there, southwest, 5 miles per hour. Barometer is dropping off just a little bit at 30.22, again, because the high is moving ever so slowly away from us. So the barometric pressure is dropping off just a little bit. Around the states, we're looking at temperatures, 65 at the airport, 67 here at Radio Center. Downtown Midland is at 68. Downtown Bay City is at 67. We're seeing a couple of 70s here and there, mostly across the southern tier of counties in the Lower Peninsula. And strange as it may seem, temperatures at least equal to us, if not a little bit warmer, in the Upper Peninsula, especially on the west side of the UP. So we're looking for a pretty nice day today, 76 for a high, 51 for a low tonight. Sun will set this evening at 8:49, rise tomorrow morning at 6:16. Again, we'll have that light southwest breeze all day long, all night tonight. A southwest breeze may be picking up just a little bit tomorrow, but 10 miles per hour, that's going to be it. And then it'll taper off tomorrow night. So we're looking at sun today, clear tonight, sun tomorrow, maybe a few clouds setting in after sunset tomorrow night. And then overnight, it's going to turn a little bit cloudier. We're going to be right on the northern edge of a low pressure system during the day on Friday that I think we're just going to see, well, after a little bit of sun in the morning, clouds as the day goes on. There will be a chance of showers as we roll into the later afternoon and the evening hours, but the best chance of that is going to be south of the 96-69 corridor. So we're just not going to see, I don't think, much chance at all of getting any precipitation. If we do, it's going to be real late Friday night, early Saturday morning. But the chances of precipitation on Saturday are not that good. If there is going to be any precipitation on Saturday, once again, it'll be late after sunset. At least that's the way it appears right now. And during the day on Sunday, the probability of precipitation is really dropping off. All the way through the period, we're going to be looking at above average temperatures until we roll into Sunday. We'll be at average, maybe just a tad below average. because a front is going to be affecting our weather. That's why there is going to be that chance of some precipitation around here. But up until Sunday or late Saturday night, the chances of precipitation are not that great at all. And then as we move into the work week next week, middle 70s on Monday and middle 70s on Tuesday. So the cooler day is going to be Sunday. Record high in the state is 91, set back in 1936. The record low 24, set in 1923, 100 years ago today. The record low temperature. Speaking of that, May the 12th of 2022, so we're a couple of days away from that, we set a record high temperature. A year ago on May the 12th, our high was 88 degrees. So what is our projected high for Friday? 78, maybe 80. And our high projected for tomorrow is 81. So it looks as though that record is going to stay, but kind of interesting that after the start that we had last year with our weather, we actually broke a record high on May the 12th. Incidentally, in 1977, we had 5 record high days, starting with the 13th of May, the 20th, the 21st, the 23rd, and the 28th. And back in the 30s, the 1930s, that decade, we had 9 days of record high temperatures in the month of May set. A year ago, our high was 83 and our low was 55. So a year ago today, 83 was our high. A couple of days next, and we were looking at a record high of 88. Below average temperature trends to take us all the way through the 23rd, starting next week, the 15th, and slightly below average as far as the moisture goes. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Cody Harris is standing by. We'll be talking to him in just a moment, and Doug Klein also will be joining us. But first, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrien Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency. Risk management is what they call it. I call it being prepared. Take advantage of the good things, protect yourself against the bad with the help of the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency. They're licensed to serve all of Michigan with both conventional and organic crop insurance, and you can get a hold of their agents directly on their cell for questions or emergencies. Or you can call the office right in downtown Reese, 989-868-4722. The Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency. We say good morning to Cody Harris over at Star of the West. Cody, do we have any good news today?
Well, we got a little bit of good news. Got a little mixed bag here kind of on the board. Market's kind of actually bounced back up here the last probably, 15, 20 minutes or so. So that's kind of a bright spot. Corn's in the, at least cash corn anyways, up a little bit. And new crop soybeans are actually just hit the green here this morning, Terry. So diving right into it, we got cash wheat. That's down 2 here this morning. 602 on the white. 552 on the red. New crop wheat's also down 2. 617 on the white. 567 on the red. Looking over at cash corn, that's up 7 at 562. New crop corn, I'm going to call that unchanged at the moment here at 458. And then looking over at soybeans, cash soybeans are down 2 at 1372. And new crop soybeans are up 2 at 1192.
That's kind of nice to see.
Oh, yeah, especially after the last few days where everything seems to be sliding back after last week's little uptrend. It's nice to see a little bounce here midweek.
Yeah, it is good to see. I was taking a look at the crop progress, and right now they say the corn crop all across the country is up about 23% from last week and ahead of the 5-year average. 18 corn growing states have started to plant, according to the report. Soybeans up 16% from last week, 35% complete across the country. 5-year average for this time of the year is 21. So good news there.
Oh yes, and especially the weather that we're looking at right now in the next couple weeks, definitely the planting progress is definitely going to pick up, and these conditions are probably just going to get better as we kind of move here if the weather stays true to what everyone's predicting. So that's definitely a good sign as we move forward.
And I imagine you guys at Star of the West are pretty busy these days.
Oh yes, this little break in the weather here has definitely got a lot of field activity going on. Whether it's spraying and spreading pre-plant or guys working fields around here, it's definitely been nice to see a bunch of equipment out in the fields the last couple of days.
And I've been hearing them and seeing them driving past the house. So yes,
Oh yes,
it's busy, busy, busy. And can't say enough about being safe out there. Nothing is that urgent right now to get done.
exactly. So that's a big thing kind of looking out right now. I know everyone's gung-ho to kind of get out there and get everything started, but definitely safety first. Make sure you got everything checked, wearing all the right safety equipment and using all the right procedures as you're out there in the fields getting work done.
You bet. Cody, have a good one.
You as well. Thank you, Terry.
Take care. Over to Oppenheimer we go with Doug Klein. The market report brought to you by the folks at Schaefer and Beerline. You want to upgrade that new Ram truck for your family farm? Hey, get a hold of the folks at Schaefer and Beerline right now. 15, 25, or 3500s. They've got them, and you can order them as well from Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth, the Great Lakes Bay Area's certified ag dealer. They specialize in all models of new Ram commercial trucks and vans. And of course, ordering is the way to go, and you can buy with confidence from Schaefer and Beerline since 1852, where family and service sells cars, and by Thumb Bank, serving the needs of agriculture for well over 125 years. 2 locations in Bay City. Also, Cassidy, Caseville, Pigeon, Bad Axe, and Marlette. Thumb Bank, where relationships are built on trust. We say good morning to Doug Klein. Doug, a whole lot of things shaking all around in the financial world. What are we looking at?
A lot of things going on. A lot of things could go right, and a lot of things could go wrong. So just have to decide which way AI decides to take our markets in the near term. But inflation numbers came out, and they were less than expected. So that's a good thing. That means the Fed doesn't really have to keep murdering us with their higher interest rates. So cross your fingers. Hopefully that sticks. That idea sticks. The crude oil numbers came in, and the inventory was up more than expected, and they said that was kind of because Joe was releasing oil from the strategic reserve. You'd think he'd do that when oil was 106, not 72, but I don't know. The guy's sometimes just backwards. So I just can't handle him anymore. But anyway, here's your numbers. The July corn is 5.93, up 8 1/4. The December corn is 5.19, up a half a penny. July soybeans 14.13 and 3/4, down a half a penny. November soybeans 12.56 and 3/4, up 2 1/4. The July wheat is 6.42, down 1 1/2, and December wheat 6.70 and 1/4, down 2 1/4. The crude oil is 72.89, down 82 cents. Heating oil is 239.81, that's up a penny. Gasoline is 249 and a half, that's up a penny and a half. Natural gas is 234 and a half, that's down 8.5 cents. And along that same line, I saw that Mosaic and Nutrien both hit new lows for the year today. And you would think with the price of natural gas being so cheap, and that's a main thing to making fertilizer, they use that as an excuse to raise the price of fertilizer a few years back to ungodly numbers. I don't know. You would think that the price of fertilizer would be crashing right now, but I don't think it's really in that mode yet. But yeah, we'll see. So over to currencies. Canadian dollar. U.S. dollar buys $1.3366 Canadian. That's down 21 ticks. The dollar buys 134.52 yen. That's down 69 ticks. The euro's at 109.72, up 12 ticks. And the dollar's at 101.50, that's down 10 ticks. Gold's at 20.31, down $11.90. Silver's 25.46, down 31 cents. And platinum's at 11.1860, that's up $2.60.
Okay. And again, wholesale gas was where, Doug?
Yeah, right around 250. So
250. Really?
Yeah. 315.
Yeah.
Barry.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Minus $1 for your Kroger points, and yeah, we're in the ballpark, man.
Life is good.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Get some E85 somewhere, and it might even be better yet. Doug, you have a good one, all right?
All righty, you too.
Okay. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at the Frankenmuth Credit Union. They can help with lines of credit. They do have equipment loans, financing for purchasing land, credit cards, and more. So check them out. Find out how they can be your hometown financial solution at any of their conveniently located offices. Frankenmuth Credit Union. For more information, just go to frankenmuthcu.org. And by the folks at Quality Roasting of Reese, offering competitive, consistent prices for your soybeans. Give them a call for a quote today. Jerry Samolsky joining me right now from Bay Landscaping and Garden Center. Jerry, another beautiful day out there.
Yes, it is, Jerry. Hey, and I have to tell you that people really listen to the radio.
Oh.
Yesterday, after making the comment about Thursday is when we should be looking at wrapping up our pre-emergent crabgrass control,
Yeah.
I got 5 calls from our customers saying, you haven't been to me yet, and you've got to be here by Thursday.
Oops.
And indeed, we will be there by Thursday because we're just about done. Those were the last few. And when we talk about dates and timing, sometimes we don't have to be that precise. In other words, that's when it's wrapping up, but a day or two or even a week later is still okay. So it's good, though, Terry, that people are paying attention. And so back to the crabgrass thing, you get 90 days control out of your product. So when you put it on early, when crabgrass has no way of germinating, you're wasting those days of control. So when you put it on later, it's actually better because you have 90 days of control when crabgrass wants to germinate. So really, the call should have been from people, why'd you put it on so soon? So understand timing is everything. It all works. And the most important thing with crabgrass, number one, is have a healthy, lush lawn by mowing it long, keeping it green and watered, and you'll be in really good shape no matter when you put your control down.
Sounds good. And remember, people do listen to the radio, Jerry.
They really do, Terry. They really do.
Talk to you again. Jerry
Yes,
Samolsky, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. Well, I've got him on the phone. I know this guy is really busy. Nutrient Ag's Travis Christian. Travis, good morning. How are you this morning?
I'm great. How are you doing, Terry?
Hey, fantastic. Thanks for taking a couple of minutes here to talk to us. Travis, I won't say the wheels are falling off the buggy, but everybody's ready to go like yesterday, right?
They are. And I have had some great opportunities to go visit farms, talk through some strategies ahead of planting, and really thankful for the growers who take a little bit of time out of their busy schedules to talk with me. And one of the topics we've probably talked the most about has been all these chemistry applications that we're trying to make in lots of crops, including turf, which I heard you just talking about, but trying to make sure that we get the most out of those chemistry applications. And I think one of the favorite statistics I've seen is the $5 billion that we as an industry dissolve in water. All this chemistry that we spend all this money on, we're dissolving it in water. And we really need to give some attention to that water, make sure we're fixing any issues with the water, whether it's hardness or alkalinity or pH. And for us, Choice Trio is the best product we have to manage water hardness from any cation, including if we're mixing water-soluble micronutrients like manganese or zinc or anything like that in that spray water. And we can use Choice Trio to help fix all our hard water issues, help buffer that potential to tie up things like Roundup, especially, or Liberty, that we're really commonly using in burn downs right now.
So your advice then is talk to you or talk to any of the folks at Nutrien about the product, right?
Absolutely. Your nutrient salesperson is very well versed in these products. I would love to talk about any of these products. So feel free to look me up on Twitter at LPI Guy MI.
All right. Travis, have a great day.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
You bet. Travis Christian over at Nutrien Ag. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Steiner Tractor. New parts for old tractors made easy. Dan tells me he's got the parts ready for you, whatever you need, because he understands that how your life and job both stop if your tractor stops running. 800-234-3280 or go to steinertractor.com. Farm Service brought to you today as well by the folks at Freeland Bean and Grain. You know, they are a Dairyland seed dealer, and right now they've got a really good selection of in-season supply Dairyland hybrids and Roundup-ready alfalfa. Who do you talk to? Just get a hold of Justin Varner over at Freeland Bean and Grain, and he'll clue you in as to what you should be doing. Dairyland Seeds, they do have the full line of corn and soybean seed designed to get you a better harvest. Dairyland, show me the yield. From Freeland Bean and Grain since 1983, serving you, it's their business. Joe Kramer with the Michigan Bean Commission joining me right now. Joe, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well, Terry. Love to see the sun shining.
Oh, I tell you, it is really, really nice. And I know in other parts of the country, they were wishing they had this weather that we're experiencing right now, because in some of the other dry bean production areas, not so much the case, right?
Yeah, but I think that's turned a little bit. And talking to a few friends in Dakotas and Minnesota, there's a few wheels turning. I think they've got a pretty good jump on their sugar beet planting now, and talk of maybe starting some dry beans after the 20th, I'm thinking. But yeah, they're feeling better than they were a couple weeks ago. That's for sure.
What advice, what are we talking to our producers here in Michigan about right now, Joe?
Well, I think when we look at sort of supply demand numbers, we're thinking that we could have a little pinto bean carryover. Not that that's a big deal to us here in Michigan, except I think it could affect some growers in their decision to be pinto bean farmers or black bean farmers this year. But Mindex expecting pintos to be down about 10%, a little bigger cut in navies. They think blacks are going to be down 10%. I'm sort of still questioning that. We'll see about it. But here in Michigan, we're thinking our blacks could be up a little bit. Everything else fairly flat. Navy beans down. So I think growers need to be talking to their favorite bean marketing people, and when there's a chance to lock in some pricing, be sure you consider that if you haven't done so already, and make sure you're staying on top of these market opportunities.
All righty. Joe, take care. We'll be talking a lot more soon. All righty.
Thanks, Terry.
You bet. Joe Kramer with the Michigan Bean Commission. Experience the most reliable RTK signal from PC Ag Solutions, compatible with most GPS receivers. Trade in your old radio or modem and get an affordable subscription through us. We have over 25 base station locations across the Lower Peninsula, and we're always looking to add more to our network. Discover more power, more accuracy, and more coverage with our 450 megahertz signal. Call us to learn more today. PC Ag Solutions, 989-868-4444. Along with me, Chuck Serbinsky from Maple Hill Nursery over in Midland. And Chuck, it's garden planting time.
It is. We've got perfect weather today for gardening. Want to get out there and get that garden healthy and make the flowers shine with blooms. Use some dairy dew this year on those garden and flower beds. It's made by Morgan Composting. It's a high carbon, high quality compost full of beneficial organisms to keep those plants healthy and strong. And you can use it as an amendment for existing gardens and also in pots and containers. You don't ever want to use it for a direct planting, but in a garden you can spread a quarter to a half inch on the soil and either rake it in or till it in and water it well, and it really does produce results.
So for more information, we can stop by
you can stop in and see us and let us show you how to do it with Morgan Composting Dairy Dew products.
Chuck Cervinsky, have a great day.
Talk to you later.
Talk to you later. Chuck Cervinsky, Maple Hill Nursery.
As a farmer, you're always thinking ahead, planning and preparing for the next season. You know that a profitable yield depends on weather and timing. While Morgan Composting can't control the weather, they can save you time, from enhancing your soil before planting season with Dairy Dew compost blends to boosting growth with Dairy Dew granulated fertilizers and finishing the growing season strong with powerful liquid foliants made with kelp, humic, and fulvic acid. Morgan Composting has everything you need to get things going and get things growing in a complete package. Whether your farming operation is a greenhouse, an orchard, or thousands of acres of row crops, save time by getting your entire fertility plan made in one place. Morgan Composting, serving Michigan farmers for more than 25 years. Call the soil health experts now at Morgan Composting or visit dairydew.com to learn more.
Dairy Dew. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Kryzak's House Family Restaurant. Mother's Day this Sunday. Got your table reserved? 989-894-5531. Corner of Cass and Michigan on Bay City's south side. Back at 12:30 with an update. Now we conclude our program with the playing of our national anthem.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News